Thank you, Mr. Chair, and distinguished members of the Subcommittee on Higher Education. My name is Nick Down, and I am the Associate Director of External Affairs with the American Council of Trustees and Alumni, or ACTA for short. By way of background, ACTA is a national nonprofit organization with over 29 years of dedicated experience promoting academic freedom, academic excellence, and accountability at our nation's four-year colleges and universities. My organization also offers resources, guidance, and best practices for college governing boards to assist them in fulfilling their fiduciary and oversight duties to the institutions they serve, and in the case of public schools, to the taxpayers of the state. It is a core belief of ACTA's that the university regents are appointed to be effective and engaged stewards of institutions and the public they serve, and they should not be treating their role, and they should never view their roles as honorary. In other words, it is the regents who should take the responsibility in leading and addressing the issues with DEI bureaucracies on college campuses. One does not need to spend a lot of time researching to learn how institutions in other states are overspending on programs, staff, and resources that incorporate DEI. In January, the College Fix reported that the University of Michigan allocated $30 million in payroll for salaries and benefits that could just as easily have been repurposed to repurposed to cover tuition and fees for almost 2,000 undergraduate students. The University of California at Berkeley's Division of Equity and Inclusion spends $36 million annually to support 400 full and part-time staff. To ACTA, the solution is clear. Texas University regents should take the lead in determining whether resources slated for administrative bureaucracies could be reallocated in ways that better serve students. Not only is overspending an issue, but the emphasis on DEI has really shortchanged academic job seekers, which in turn ultimately affects a state's workforce. Note, for example, a rubric used by several institutions in the University of California system to evaluate potential faculty candidates. It asks applicants to speak through their track record and future plans to promote DEI in research, teaching, and service. To be clear, this is a diversity rubric, this diversity rubric is a screening tool. An answer that does not align with an activist interviewer's agenda effectively ends the applicant's candidacy. For professors or potential staff who prioritize merit-based evaluations and viewpoint diversity, which should be the main consideration, this rubric presents a real challenge to being considered for employment. An opportunity to hire a strong candidate could easily be missed. Further, DEI offices have on occasion shown themselves to be discriminatory. In 2021, Northwestern University's Office of Institutional Diversity held an event for employees of color, but they intentionally left out Asian staff. When a group of Asian staff confronted the office, they were told that the venue was not big enough to host all the employees of color, so they were simply left out. Now, how are Texas institutions implementing this SB 17? Well, we have seen news coverage and reports from institutions that have cut DEI-related positions and closed departments, which is great news. On the other hand, we have also witnessed Texas institutions attempting to skirt the law by simply renaming positions and departments. ACTA recommends that all Texas institutions follow the example of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, what their Board of Trustees have done. Not only did UNC Chapel Hill's board reappropriate funding dedicated to DEI by shifting $2.3 million of this money to campus public safety, but the institution is also actively trying to change its campus culture by fostering a community dedicated to diversity of all kinds, especially intellectual and viewpoint diversity. In 2022, UNC Chapel Hill's board adopted the Chicago Principles on Free Expression and a policy of institutional neutrality modeled after the University of Chicago's 1967 Calvin Committee report. Now, I just want to take a few minutes to explain what the Chicago Principles and the Calvin Committee reports do. Broadly speaking, the purpose of a university is to discover, debate, and share knowledge. When a university realizes this purpose, it is of tremendous benefit to all members of the university community and the larger society. As in life, in higher education, it is often too tempting to suppress ideas and harass individuals who do not conform to established orthodoxies. Thus, policies protecting the free expression rights of each community member need to be adopted. The Chicago Principles and the Doctrine of Institutional Neutrality, as defined in the Calvin Report, are two such policies. Not only is UNC Chapel Hill adopting policies designed to foster free expression and viewpoint diversity, but the institution is also creating additional spaces where these foundational principles can thrive. In 2023, the board approved a resolution accelerating the establishment of the School of Civic Life and Leadership, or SKILL for short. SKILL is a new academic unit that aims to promote civic engagement and discourse, welcoming heterodox faculty and visiting scholars. The core of SKILL's mission is to expose students to diverse points of view, equipping them with the core competencies necessary to be good citizens. I would like to end my remarks by stating for the record that ACTA believes in diversity, equity, and inclusion. True diversity, equity, and inclusion. Diversity of the mind and heart, in which students and faculty freely exchange questions and ideas. This is the fearless diversity that advances understanding and progress. We believe a college education should be made affordable and accessible to all who wish to attend, regardless of race, creed, gender, or sexual orientation. While Texas institutions may be making headway in following the law through administrative direction and memoranda, it should be on the regents who are charged with ensuring that their schools are following the letter and the spirit of the law. Thank you again for inviting me to appear before you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.